Okay, we're back. We're back. I think we are back. We'll see what happens here and see if everything is restored as it should be. Okay. All right, folks. Uh, we had a hard crash. We had a very hard crash. And I did the best I could to recover. And what I'm trying to see is how we recovered. Folks, we're back. We had a very hard crash. I had not seen one of these crashes since the last version of our software. Let's see what's going on here to make sure that we were recovered or not. Okay, we're back. We're back. Give me a chance, folks, to get all the things back. We had a very hard crash, and it seems to be only software, not hardware. So give me about 75 seconds to get everything back in line. 75 seconds to get everything back in line. But that was a very hard crash. So I'm trying to recover as we speak. So bear with me as we speak as I recover from this hard crash. I had not seen one like this in a very long time. And that was a bad crash. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this other person up. And then we'll be ready to fly again, folks. Give me a second here. We're going to be ready to fly in 1 second. Let's go here. Let's see what we got here. I think we're safe. All right, we're back. All right, I'm going to wait a few seconds to get more people that we lost back into the system. Let's see if we have to rechannel everything again, or did it recover mostly? And it seemed to have recovered. Okay, the YouTube doesn't seem to have recovered, but to a new line. But it seems that we recovered the same network under Facebook. All right. Sorry about that. I couldn't help it. I had nothing to do with it. Now, here's a problem with what just happened. I have lost all of the messages that weren't placed into the queue for Facebook. So let me see if I can get to those first. Let's see if I can get to those messages first. See if they are still there. The comments seem to be still there. So I have to go to another line to get that. So bear with me, folks, as I try to recover and see if I can get to some of your comments beforehand. Well, look, I've lost most of the comments. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the first video. Let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll catch that up later on. So here we go. Let's see. Let's make sure this is the right video. Nope, it's not even the right videos because it wasn't saved off. This was a hard crash. Give me another 30 seconds, folks. I'm coming with that video right now. Give me another 30 seconds. The video will start in 30 seconds. Let's go for it. Get it there. Pull that up. Where is that? Come on. Right there. And here comes the first video. Then I'll put the rest. I feel the pain of those in Afghanistan that are going to feel the injustice, that are going to feel the oppression of the Taliban with the boot on their necks, attacking women, putting women in their place. I feel that. I genuinely do. And I watch how many institutions, specifically the media, specifically those many attached to the military-industrial complex, they are flooding our airwaves with all these things that President Biden must do. President Biden didn't do correctly to get out of Afghanistan because, you know, all the injustice that's happening to these people, it is horrendous, it is terrible. And you know what? That's true. But I also wish that as injustices occurred here in the United States, as the injustices that still occur here in the United States, and it's not necessarily chopping somebody's heads off, or it's not necessarily because you are a woman, you just can't do XYZ. But functionally speaking, it is the same. That many people do not have access to success because of who they are. I wish the institutions would come down and fight for it as well. For all the women that are still in America discriminated against in many instances. I wish the entire structure would coalesce on things like that. For people of color whose only issue with getting certain places or getting certain accesses to success is simply because of hue, I wish the same impetus that came, I wish the same way that the entire system came to the defense of getting out of Afghanistan would be placed on all those injustices, on all those oppressive behaviors, of all those realities. But you see, we don't see it. And we have to wonder, what's really behind all of this? Is it that we care so much about those Muslim women? Is it that we care so much about the injustices that the Taliban is going to put on these folks? Or is there some other reason? Is it that all of these systems coalesce on this because as Biden moves us to get out of these forever wars, and I know it's a lot of people want to say it's woke to talk about forever wars. No, it isn't. For taking us out of these wars and investing in organizations, investing in people, investing here in America for saving our own. You wonder if it's because the money tree that having all these bases around the world and generals and lieutenant colonels that retire and form companies to service all these foreign entities across the world, if just maybe they're coalescing to say we can't get this ball rolling, so we have to give the people a sense of we care about humanity. We got to stay the course. Folks, there's so much hidden behind the scenes. There's so much that we should be asking right now. What is really going on here? Absolutely so. There's so much that we should be asking. By the way, somebody said we were out of sync on the videos. Is it still out of sync or not? Because as it turns out, we had a fresh restart, so I would have thought any one of those issues would have been taken care of. Anyhow, I am back to live, and I think I have everything else rejiggered appropriately. So let's go ahead and continue getting busy with your questions and messages. Eric Hayes says, okay, let's see. Eric Hayes says, we are talking about a bad decision made about something that reverberated for years to come, and reality is people will die now and in the future because now the Taliban, who supports terrorist violence all over the world, will keep doing it. They don't care about what the international community thinks of them. And do we care what about the international community think about us? Come on, man. Every country works about things within its own interests, right? And in fact, the second video that I have out here, I think you need to see because it drops dead the fallacy of we fight them there so we don't have to fight them over here. Check this out. Americans have been lied to for so long that even the reporters believe the crap that's been told to them. I mean, you remember those phrases like, we fight them over there so we don't have to fight them over here. Those are the things that the defense industrial complex, the military industrial complex, uses to force Americans into saying, we're going to subsidize all these private American companies supporting our militaries all over these different countries. It's a sham. It's just a profit center for corporations. Well, the question is now, oh my God, now that we're leaving Afghanistan, terrorism is going to come about. And the question that, or the answer to that question that the press secretary gave today should shut that down completely because it makes a lot of sense, and it's stuff that we've been talking about all the time. You think terrorists are just setting up in Afghanistan? What about Yemen? What about all these other places? What about Costa Rica? What about Guatemala? What about all these other places? Is there some reason intrinsically why terrorists can say, let's create a base here to come for America? Why Afghanistan is so damn far anyway? Anyhow, check this out.
Former officials from multiple administrations, the Obama administration, the Bush administration, have said they are certain Afghanistan will become a safe haven for terrorists. I know you and the president have disputed that. What do you think those officials are getting wrong, and can you ensure that Americans are safer today because of your actions than we were several months ago?
I want to be very clear about what our position is. Our position is that we are going to have to deal with the potential threat of terrorism from Afghanistan going forward, just as we have to deal with the potential threat of terrorism in dozens of countries in multiple continents around the world. We have to deal with the threat of terrorism in Yemen and Somalia and Syria. We have to deal with the threat of terrorism across the Islamic Maghreb. We have to deal with Al-Qaeda and ISIS-K. And we have to do so using a wide variety of tools, intelligence capabilities, defense capabilities, and yes, in some cases, the support we can provide to local partners to help them deal with the challenge. And what we have shown is in many of the countries I just mentioned, among others, we have been successful to date in suppressing the terrorist threat to the U.S. homeland in those countries without sustaining a permanent military presence or fighting in a war. And that is what we intend to do with respect to Afghanistan as well. So this is not a question about whether we're clear-eyed about the terrorist challenge from Afghanistan. It is about whether the terrorist challenge in 2021 is fundamentally different from the terrorist challenge in 2001. We believe it is fundamentally different, and we need to be postured effectively to deal with the terrorism challenges we find it today as opposed to 20 years ago.
So that is the truth. If you want to have eyes in other countries, it doesn't mean putting a military footprint, entire infrastructure for the defense or the military-industrial complex to make a whole lot of money. And it doesn't mean risking the lives of innocent people as those civilian money makers go out there and take advantage of them. What it means is you use intelligence. You use intelligence that you purchase over there. You use intelligence from your own systems, and that's how we solve the terrorist problem intelligently. And by the way, a lot of that terrorist problem that we are going to have to solve going forward is right here in America from the right. Let's not forget that. And it's so important. The last terrorist attack we had on the United States came homegrown right here in the United States from Donald Trump supporters. That was the last terrorist attack in America, and the one before, gun violence. So let's be clear here. We have more to worry about from our homegrown terrorists than we have anywhere else on this planet right now. Now, Egberto, why do we have military in Germany? Because the war ended in 1945. Again, this guy answered the question because people wanted to equate, you leave all these people in Germany, Korea, Japan, Italy, etc. Very true. But here's the difference. We are in Italy and Germany and Japan and all these places. We don't need to be there, actually. We should be out of there, in my opinion. But at least you can justify it by saying you are maintaining your western flank. In other words, we are not there fighting a civil war. We are there as a deterrence. However, when we got into Iraq, when we got into Afghanistan, when we got into Lebanon, when we got into all these other places, we were going to interject ourselves into a civil war. In other words, we were going in there to be a part of the war. That's not what the military is doing in Japan, in Italy, in Germany, in France. That's not what we're doing. Let's be clear here. Lee Grant, it's odd that Egberto, as a journalist, seems to be a mouthpiece for government. No, Saki, who speaks for the Biden administration, and you use your platform to attack other journalists, seem authoritarian to me. No, I've attacked Biden before. I am an equal opportunity offender. I am not a supporter of administrations or of media, mainstream media or otherwise. My loyalty, believe it or not, Brother Grant, is to you. It is to Eric Hayes. It is to Michael Rudnin. It is to it is to Brian Miner. It is to Norman Reynolds. It is to E2247. It is to Tom C. It is to Roberto Lewis. It is to AVQ, Paul Fleming, Charlie Lindahl. That is where my loyalty lies, to the average American citizen. And I know deep inside, you know that, Lee Grant, so why would you say that? You know that. You know that. I am a Psaki fan. You are right about that. I really love how Psaki answers questions, and I think she doesn't allow herself to be spun. And in fact, she does a little spinning herself. And when she spins wrong, look up my articles. I've also hit her when she has spun wrongly. Come on. I am an equal opportunity offender. So I would like you to remember that. I am not here for the administration. I am not here for reporters. I'm here for the people who I consider our posse. And our posse, with the intent of growing our posse huge, people who have conversations, ideas, etc., etc., etc. You know, the next video that I have is 16 minutes long. It's from Dr. Cedric Dark. And it's about COVID. But since we had our crash and since I went through so much with you so far, it'll cut it too close. So let's talk. Send me a lot of messages now as far as what you want to tell me. And let me set up the phones in case somebody may want to call in as well. Because as it turns out, I don't think I'll have enough time to do Dr. Dark. So let's go ahead and fire up the phones. And that's what I will do. No, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. It's too long, and so let's go ahead, and I have a lot of messages here. So if anybody have any more stuff to add, go ahead and add it as I go ahead and start this phone system if anybody wants to call in. Let's get the phone going. I wish more people would call in. I really do. Open the Zoom box. Let's go to the Zoom box and open up. Oh, Usi na Usi. Okay, Usi na Usi. I'll go ahead and read that as soon as I fire up our phone system here. All right.
Recording in progress.
The phone system is now functional. Didn't intend to do that today. Phone system is functional. All right. Usi na Usi says, I'm here to give my testimony about Dr. who helped me. I want to inform the public I was cured from... Okay, I'm sorry. I don't do that kind of stuff here. Sorry about that, brother. All right, let's see what else we got here. Egberto applies the fairness doctrine, so unusual since POTUS Reagan days in olden time. Thank you, brother. Paul Fleming says, Doc Cheney is the biggest winner because his company supplies the weapon to our country. There you go. You got that right. All right, anybody you want to call in, I'm putting it on the screen. That is a call-in information right there. Let's see what else I've got here. I haven't done my ask yet. If you are on YouTube, click that join button. Become a part of our PDR posse, please. But alternatively, you can still become a part of the PDR posse or any other part of our system by going to politicsdoneright.com/support. politicsdoneright.com/support. And that gives you all the different fashions, manners in which you can support our endeavor here. But also, please go ahead and consider getting our books at politicsdoneright.com/books. politicsdoneright.com/books. All of my books are in that location. Bruce Pollard, welcome aboard. Bruce says, which gets more money for the military-industrial complex, an old war or a new war? You know, that is a good question, Bruce, but I think Roberto Lewis may have an answer for you because I have a hunch maintaining the war is where the money is. In other words, you get all the people there. You get all the people and they keep coming and you keep, you know, it is like the register that just keeps giving. The register that just keeps giving. All right, Roberto Lewis says, well said, Egberto. Those other countries where the militaries are based, they're there for tour training and for protection. Exactly. Let's see what else I got here. Lee Grant said, I think I read that one already. I have not heard of a solution from the right or alternative to withdrawing the troops. I want to take that a little further. And I want to ask the question this way. There are a lot of people attacking Biden right now. They claim it's not that he is removing the troops, but they claim it is how he's doing it. My question to everybody is, how would you have done it? What do you think would have happened as soon as everybody know America is leaving? Exactly what happened here. Yes, it happened in Vietnam because the people that were defending you, they are now going. Of course, when that last plane is leaving, you are going to be inundated with people like that. So I don't want anybody in the Biden administration to come out and start saying, oh, maybe we should have planned it better. Look, you can always plan better, always. But you are going to have, once everybody finds out you're leaving, they are going to rush that airport. People say, well, we should have gotten the people out earlier. If you are to believe the Biden administration, a lot of people were told, we're leaving. Do you want an exit? And they said, I am staying for now. And when things got crazy that the Taliban ran over everything as fast as they did, then it was a panic time. Then it was panic time. Everybody knew we were leaving. So you can say, people, it's funny that the Republicans are talking a lot about this. This is the nanny state now, right? In other words, Donald Trump arranged for us to leave. Everybody knew we were leaving in August. Somehow, they want the administration to now say, all you contractors, all you other people that want to leave now, let me go get you and bring you here. Would be nice. Would be nice. But it's not a necessity. Look, the more I thought about it, at first I really gave Biden a hard time for what I saw on TV. Then I asked my question. If I were the leader of the free world and I was leaving a country that I should not have been in at all, but that somehow this country used all that we have given them, how would I have gotten the people out? Eric Hayes, you're talking a lot. What would have been your procedure to get these people out? Okay? Why choose to leave around 9/11? Ask Donald Trump. He's the one who wanted to leave at 9/11. He's the one who wanted to bring the Taliban to the White House on 9/11. He is the one whose Secretary of State is taking pictures with the Taliban, saying that the Taliban they were good negotiating partners. Come on, read. Stop choking on misinformation from the right wing. All right, Parkinson's corollary to Murphy's Law. Given end time, people will wait till n-1 to act. Exactly. Rose Williams, I heard that Congress was trying to increase the number of visas, but that Republicans largely voted against it. Republicans just want an issue. That's all they want, an issue. Minimally phase 1, security in case housing and resource centers. Intermediary phase 2, live cameras interaction. You don't leave allies out to dry. I tell you something, I don't believe you ever leave allies out to dry. Allies knew we were leaving. Let me tell you, I'm from Panama. I've been at the other end of the United States and what they do to other people. Everybody else knows that. They came to Panama and killed 10,000 people to get Noriega. The United States around, people always think we go for the benevolence around the world. That's not what we do. When America goes around the world, it is solely for America and the plutocracy. What we are fighting here all the time is America and the plutocracy. My entire mission is about taking control. And if you think right now, being in Afghanistan and having these guys, and by the way, let's be clear here, okay? The tweet that I read on Twitter, I really loved it because it said we should have made women the president. We should have made a woman the president of Afghanistan and given the arms to the women because they had something to fight for. Do you think all those great Afghani men that are coming over here are not the chauvinist types that are going to come over to America and somehow, yes, they work for the Americans, these great good people, and are not going to bring that culture with them as well? That is what I'm talking about. Now, as far as the live streams and all that good stuff, look, again, there are a lot of things. Robbie El Caban, my good friend, there are a lot of things that could be done differently. I am not going to argue that at all. I'm not going to argue. But by the same token, I'm not going to allow the Republicans and the right wing and the military industrial complex to somehow critique Biden for doing something those of us on the left have been begging administration after administration to do, and that is to leave Afghanistan, because Afghanistan was simply a moneymaker for a few people, and it hurt most of us. Exactly. That was UR, wasn't it? I don't know what. Tell me what you mean. I don't understand what you're saying. That was UR. Okay. Anyhow, again, leaving responsibly. I don't know what that. It's above my pay grade to know all the ins and outs. Above my pay grade. But I know we asked the man. Those of us on the left asked the man to leave. Oh, oh, I got you, girl. I got you. Anyway, we asked that guy to get out of Afghanistan, those of us on the left, and he got out of Afghanistan. Okay? Could have been done better? Yes. How? I don't know. All right, let's see what else. We have Tom C. says, Afghanistan, full of radical religious fundamentalists ready to violently attack and overthrow a democratically elected government. Sort of like our country. Will the U.S. be the next Afghanistan? If the Trump people take over, it exactly will be. Bruce says, Bush 1 knew how to do it. Fight and leave. Don't expect to make any friends. You know, if you read my first book, As I See It, people gave me hell. And I'm rereading my book As I See It right now into an audio book, and it should be out next week. But I gave Bush 1 credit. And people hate me for it because they said, how dare you stand up for a Republican? Because I stand up for good people, period. And what he did are the good things people do. Okay, that's what I do. I hear you, Robbie. We'd have to talk about, you know what? We should do a show on that, Robbie, where when you come and tell me, Egberto, you should have done this or you should have said that. Robbie is a hell of a reporter out of Atlanta, folks, and she's a tough one. Let me just tell you guys that. She's a hell of a reporter. She's a tough one. And yeah, so maybe Robbie wants to come on the show and actually, go ahead and tell me what we should have done. And, I love to hear a good discussion absolutely anytime. Charlie Lindahl says, how can we make rescue support profitable? That's interesting. Okay, Robbie, we'll do a tape, girl. Let's see. Para ver qué más tenemos aquí. Para ver. Eric Hayes. Well, you've got your issue now, and Egberto, you can't even speak for the Afghan helpers that will die, and the women there. You must not have listened to my first tape. How many women in America right now are going to die because of what our patriarchy does to them right now? How many people in America are going to suffer because of our oppressive nature in many things? Is lack of health care oppressive? You bet your life it is. Is not having child care oppressive? You bet your life it is. Is not having people wear masks and getting others killed oppressive? You bet your life it is. Okay? So let's be clear here. Let's be very clear. I do not want to diminish those people who have helped Americans. I don't want to diminish what the plight that those women are going to go through. I don't. But I also want to put this all into perspective. And the perspective is right here in America. There is the boot on the neck of people of color from cops. I didn't see the establishment. I didn't see all these great talkers that are there attacking because we're getting out of Taliban the wrong way. I didn't hear them saying we are murdering Americans in our streets. I didn't see that. But they're so concerned about Muslim women. Think about it. Do you really think they have concern? Do you really think a party that has proven to be so prejudiced really care about those women, or do they care to create a political issue? That is what it's all about, a political issue. Carl Cox says, the people, especially the females, are going to suffer because American politicians don't want to help the people of America or Afghanistan. And you know what is so true? The truth of the matter is there are many ways to help women around the world. There are many ways to help cultures around the world to become more not like America, but to become more humane. Robbie says a party, it's both parties. Robbie, it is both parties, but that we cannot create an equivalence. Both parties are neoliberals. The core of both parties are neoliberal. That is absolutely true. But the right wing is the fascist portion, and we cannot allow false equivalences. We cannot do it. I know the issues with the Democratic Party. I know that. But there is one that progressives can infiltrate, and there's one that we don't stand a chance. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Robbie. And you know I love you, girl. Anyway, let's continue here. Marvelous Arnold Juliet. Michael Rudnin, hello. Let's see. Paul Fleming says, heck, just look at education in Republican-run states. Most are at the bottom. Exactly. They don't care. Lee Grant, some cultures suck, like those who would stone a woman to death after being raped, or like some who would put a woman, like some who would restrict a woman from doing what she wants with her body, or from those who would restrict women from doing a lot of things they want to do. I'm saying before we throw stones, we have to look in the mirror. You know, some cultures are just bad. Yeah, we used to cut the balls off of black men who didn't do what we wanted them to do. Oh, we used to throw indigenous people off the land that they owned because we found gold on it, and even after we signed treaties with them, we killed them if they fought for the land they were on throughout their lives. Before you attack another culture, look in the mirror. We all do good things. We all do bad things. It's not a race thing, brother. So Lee Grant, when I talk about what was done to black people, I'm not saying white people are bad. I'm saying white people in America did this to black people. White people in Great Britain did this to black people. But you know what? Black people did some bad thing to black people and other people as well. And you know what? Indigenous people did the same. Understand politics done right. My goal isn't to say, oh, black people are without any wrongdoing. White people are the devils. Oh, indigenous people are all good. That is not what we're talking about. Humanity is one thing. You see, the good thing about me is I don't believe in race. So I can say all these things and I don't give a darn what anybody says because I don't believe in race. So I know the truth. And evil knows no bound. We got societies to culturize ourselves. That's what we did. And everybody in the American culture saved that culture that was being fused. We share the same thing, right? Other cultures have not evolved to certain things yet. But you bring Muslims to America, eventually the assimilation process occurs. Look, I'm in several parties with several, you know, if a lot of these people say, oh, you know, I'm Muslim, I wouldn't have a clue. Or I'm a Christian, I wouldn't have a clue. In my case, I'm a humanist. They don't have a clue. So I want everybody to get an understanding of where I'm coming from, folks. Let's not have, this one here is to Brother Smith, because it's important that you understand this, brother. It is very important. Lee Grant, I mean not Smith, Lee Grant. You cannot say some cultures suck, because we've done a hell of a lot of the same things that we watched them do. When the Taliban cut somebody's head off, our slave masters used to do that to make a point. The same point that those terrorists were doing, the owners of slaves in America did it. Okay? And the reason they did it is to terrorize people into doing what they want to do. Don't think that all cultures do not have the propensity to do those things. All right? Remember that. And if you can remember that, you can be more humane, because you can say the human existence has good parts and bad parts. And what we do with socialization is to create a system where we all learn that doing those bad things have a price. Doing those bad things have a price. So folks, every culture has its good, its bad, etc., etc., etc. So again, we're all brothers and sisters. We all want what's best. If you're on my program, I don't care what ideology you are. The Taliban exists today. American slave masters are long gone, but lynching still occurs. In fact, 2 years ago, there is a black body that was hanging with his something cut off in Alabama. It still occurs today by some of our people. We still have people walking down saying we will not be denied and how much they hate the Jews. That still occurs here in America. So no, it's still here. We still have the Taliban in America. A friend of mine, Marcus Malutzas, a guy who ran the Daily Kos, wrote the book called The American Taliban. The American Taliban. Let's not forget that. Lynching is rare. Cutting people's heads off in the Middle East is rare. It's just that every time they do it in the Middle East, we put it on TV. When they do it here, we don't. It is just like killing is very popular here in the United States. If you made a movie about the United States to another country, they'll say, you mean so many people get killed every day in the United States by gun violence? Understand, people. Understand. We know better than anybody else, and nobody else is any better than we are. Let's remember that. We're a team. All of you guys that are listening to Politics Done right now, you're my team. We are a team. Don't forget it. And let's learn all this crap together, because it is what's going to change the world. This is the kind of thinking. You don't hear this on TV. They try to make good and bad. They try to make this race good at this race, but all of that is bull. Listen to my words. Because this is the kind of stuff, when we really internalize this stuff, is when we can really get, thank you for bringing up Dylan Roof, Brother Rudnin. When we internalize this stuff is when we start to make progress. Anyway, folks, please, if you are on YouTube, click that join button. Become a part of the PDR posse. I beg of thee. Consider getting my books. My books are pretty good. It covers a lot of this stuff. politicsdoneright.com/books, politicsdoneright.com/books, and support the show any way you can. politicsdoneright.com/support, politicsdoneright.com/support. Couldn't do any of this without you guys ensuring this program. Other programs just have the plutocracy giving them ads. We depend on those who we support. We depend on those that we come to tell the truth about. So please support us. Go to join, hit that join button, super chat, any way, any form, support us. My name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. And you guys know how I end this baby. I am what? Out. Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right.